Let's do this! Alright, so I'm going to weigh this piece of wet plywood that we pulled off the roof, and then later weigh the dry piece that we cut out to match.
Because that thing is heavy.
Yeah, feels like it's a lot heavier than it should be. Almost 20 pounds.
Okay.
19 pounds.
All right. 19 pounds on the record. Brad cut a new piece of, we're calling it Luan, it's just thin wood that's in the walls and the ceiling. We're gonna see if it fits.
Gotta jam that in the corner. Oh man, yeah, it does seem like it's maybe just a little too much on this side.
Something that we should have gotten while we were RV shopping, and which I would recommend to you guys to get if you're RV shopping, is a moisture meter. We got this on Amazon. It's called Dr. Meter, and you don't have to poke holes in anything like some. You just hold it up to the wood. It can read through the walls and tell you the moisture content. And by comparing it to what you know is very dry, you can get a sense of things.
Are you holding it on the metal? Oh.
15.5 there.
Okay.
And now let's check out here.
21.
21. So that
It was a little wet in there.
is similar to some of the values we saw in the back. 30 right there. So
For comparison, some of the super wet, like sopping wet ones were 45
Yeah.
or more.
this is just a vapor barrier. What? It looks so dry.
It does. Maybe it's on the underside.
Yeah, the water kind of comes down and then this vapor barrier just holds it in, and right above the vapor barrier is fiberglass insulation, which just like sucks up the water and hangs onto it.
Yeah, so if there's wet fiberglass in there, this will give us the opportunity to pull that out and put in some new stuff.
Today we have rented a commercial blower. I think it's called like a carpet blower or carpet dryer, and it's just a heavy duty fan basically, so that we can get a lot of air movement in these areas. That the wood was wet, but it still feels really solid, and so we're going to keep it. We've also explored an area where our moisture reader was telling us we had like 50 on the moisture reading content, and so we took off all the siding so we could explore that, and turned out it was kind of a false reading. I think it had to do with some electrical wire running through that area giving us the high reading. The wood itself, when I put it right against the wood, is still reading in like the 20% range. So it's still high, and it's still good to have that opened up and air out. And now we can run some wiring down there for some light switches. Man, working in this shop is just so convenient. Right where I am, there was the big air conditioning unit, and it would have just been so hard to get that down on a ladder or something. Impossible. Impractical. Yeah, but we had these shelves right next to the RV that we were able to just carefully lift it over and put it on that. Alrighty. Oh, that's perfect. I love how it's exactly the right width already. Oh, I should weigh it. Well, I'm sure we took off a piece of equal weight. Right? Remember we weighed the wet one?
Oh, that's right!
This is exactly 10 pounds.
Oh man, I feel like the wet one was a lot more than that.
Was it like 20?
Yeah, I feel like it was double. So, my dad built this shop all by himself. Took him about 10 years to do it, but he's very practical, and he built it the way he wanted it. He integrated this air compressor. It's got a hose running out into the main shop area so that we can run all the air tools out there. We don't leave it on all the time. We just turn it on when we need it. And then I flip that valve. There it goes. Alright, just want to make sure it's all lined up before I put in a ton of nails.
Yeah. The panels are scattered everywhere. They are all in various stages of being cleaned, needing to be cleaned, painted, partially painted. Got some here. Got some down here. These ones are all done. I'm also using the main garage to the house where I'm doing a lot of the painting. But this is clearly, we are very spread out. I'm taking up a ton of space to do this. The apartment that we're staying in is just right up there. So really awesome and convenient.
This should fit just perfectly over this pipe on here. Oh yeah! Wow, there's way too much on this side.
That's right on here.
Is it right on over there? There were some much more expensive systems for trailers for reverse cameras, but I elected to go to it with a cheaper option. It's just $20. It's just a regular car backup camera, and I'm going to mount it right here, and then I'll just run an RCA cable all the way up to the front of the trailer, and that'll just be one more thing that we have to hook up when we hook up to the truck. Putting the panel back on here behind the bathroom, and I'm gonna cover this up pretty soon, so it won't just be open to the world.
And this is new.
This is, yeah, I just put this on today, and another one up there. Yeah, this whole closet was just wide open.
That closet was a mess.
It was terrible.
You almost need, do you want like a bread knife?
Maybe I can just do it with the scissors.
It is so encouraging to see all the wood reinstalled on the roof. And so now all we have to do, as far as that goes, is prep it for laying the new roof. And then we've got to reinstall the aluminum panels because the roof is going to go back over the top of those. So Brad has just done a really awesome job of getting these panels replaced. Got new pieces under here. This front corner, the opposing corner, also needed a lot of replacement. This right here is really shiny because it's a place where Brad applied wood hardener, and then these areas are the wood epoxy to kind of reform it where it needed it, where we did dig out pieces.
We found that this was a really great opportunity to readjust some of the wiring. We had some reading lights that were symmetrical along the front window, but that didn't really work well with our bed setup, which is, our head is this way. So we took this opportunity to move the reading lights here, and all the wiring related to that. And since we had that wiring exposed, we decided to put in some USB outlets next to the bed as well, so that we could charge our phones there. We also installed a couple of 12-volt fans. I mean, they're not fully installed yet, but we got the wiring in place. We routed the wiring right here through the little bunk platform, and then it comes down, and the fans will just hang off of that. It was just so convenient to be able to have access to all this wiring right here, where I can just clip and strip and all that stuff. I also put in a brand new 12-volt circuit for all these extras that we've put in. There was a super crappy tiny little fan up in this vent when we got the rig.
No, this one didn't have a fan.
Oh, the bathroom had the fan.
Yeah.
This one was a vent with no fan. So we decided this would be a great time to go ahead and put in, we put in a max air vent that's got the integrated rain cover already, and just took wiring, electricity from this wiring here. A bunch of this wood was damaged, so we just took that out and put in brand new wood there. This is a new ceiling panel as well, that's right. Maggie spent a lot of time texturizing this so that it would have a similar texture to the rest of the ceiling. I think she did a great job. I already grubbied it up with my dirty little hands.
Hey.
As we mentioned, this had a tiny fan. We decided to upgrade this to a max fan. So that's going to be nice. And put in a skylight where there wasn't one before. This was just a plain ceiling, and what was cool is that the framing up top, the wood, was already kind of set up for a skylight. It was kind of the wrong size. I just had to move this piece of wood that way a little bit more. And now we'll have a skylight in the shower. So I can actually stand up straight while I'm showering, which will be nice.
Which you couldn't do before.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just wanted to give you a little real-time update. Last week we reached out to the dealership, we sent them pictures, we directed them to the YouTube link, and we just asked if there was anything they were willing to do to make this right with us. The amount of water damage that was throughout our 2003 Northwood Nash trailer. The owner wanted to speak with me, so she and I had a good conversation. She apologized. She said they had no idea that the trailer was in the shape that it was. It was very hard to tell from the inside, and I agree with that. It did look very clean. It didn't smell musty. She said that had they known the amount of damage, they would have sold it at a lower price, wholesale price, and they would have let the buyer know that there was extensive damage that would need repairs. And so with that in mind, they were willing to give us some amount of compensation, refund a little bit, whatever you want to call it, and so they're going to be sending us a check, and so it's at least something. And so the dealership is the RV Corral in Eugene, Oregon. It's actually where we bought our bounder from, and so we felt confident buying a trailer from them as well. We just got unlucky in this situation, I think, but the Nashes are really hard to find, so that was a very big reason why we decided to keep pursuing repairs on this one. It's the trailer we wanted. It had everything we wanted, and so knowing that we could most likely handle everything involved to repair it was a big reason in, deciding to stick with it. So anyway, we're thankful that the dealer was willing to do something for us. I know there would be some dealerships out there who would say, hey, you bought this as is, tough luck. I don't know, but so we were wishing they would have done a little more, but at the same time, they might have not done anything. So thank you, RV Corral, for speaking with us and wanting to make that right. I think I'm going to take next week off from making a video because it just cuts into the time for doing repairs, and hopefully the following week the video will be all about finishing the job. I don't know how much work we have ahead of us still. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. All of your super kind comments, words of encouragement, and your positivity has gone so far to buoy our spirits. So thank you for that. We'll catch you soon, a couple weeks.